because I actually have everything set correctly. Welcome to Dicefunctional, where a bunch of friends sit around, play some Dungeons and Dragons, have technical difficulties because Jace notices things right before they punch the actual crew live, and we share that story with you, our wonderful audience. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. We appreciate your presence. Thank you for sticking with us with the technical difficulties. And a special warm welcome to those of you who might be tuning in for the first time. Greetings and salutations to you, friend. We hope you enjoy your first taste of this adventuring party, this group of friends, and everything that is going to happen in the story, because, boy, it's about to get weird. We're about to answer the question, which one is worse, cannibalism, vampirism, or murder? You get to decide in the chat. And that's right! If you're here checking out the chat, you can chime in to let us know which you think is worse. If you want to tune in live to the chat, every Saturday at around 4 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Dicefunctional. You can join in and you can get in on ridiculous comments like that. You can chat with us live and figure out where the story is going as we tell it and as we create it. We're also live throughout the week doing things like art, playing games, and just hanging out. So if you got a place that you want to hang out during the week, chat with people live, you can do that on wherever it is that you do the thing. There's also cats. Cats make appearances. It's a regular thing. So if you like cats, you have to follow us on Twitch. It's the law. I don't make the law. I just sometimes subvert it. If you want to subvert the awfulness that is, people, you can go on over to YouTube. I don't know what that has to do with anything of it. YouTube.com/@Dicefunctional, where you can check out all of the previous episodes that we have done of Dicefunctional, of not only this campaign 2, but the entire campaign 1. There are some catch-up, wrap-up checkpoints that we have going on for the campaign 2, so that way you can tell all your friends and share those with your friends and let your friends know so they can also join in. You can also check out a bunch of other one-shot content and a bunch of other ttrpg content. We've got gaming content on there. We've got art content. There's a whole lot of content. So if you want to watch something, that's probably the best place on the internet to do it. As a scientific study done just now by me would conclude. If you instead just like listening to things, or if you want to take us on the go, wherever it is that you're going, you can go to your favorite podcasting platform. You could search Dicefunctional, and you can check out our entire campaign 1 and campaign 2. There's a whole lot of it. You'll be listening to it probably until you die. I don't know that for sure because I don't know when anyone's going to die, but hey, you could. And I mean, we'd be sad, but hey, you know what? We'd appreciate you listening to us. It's also a great place that you can share that with everyone. If you want to interact with us on socials, we are at Dicefunctional everywhere except for on Twitter, where we are at Dicefunctional with an _. And if you want more information on the players or on the characters, you can check out our amazing website. Just search Dicefunctional wherever it is that you do the searching of things. Wow, that's a whole lot of information. And, you can just check it all down in the description. You can check it all down in the panels, or you can just type in the chat and say, hey, what the fuck was that thing? And we'll share it with you. But for now, we have some D&D to get to because we have some important questions to answer and some important things to investigate. So Connor, take it away.
So where we last left the neighborhood watch, they had just made their way into the small city of Magreen, where they had met the mysterious individual by the name of Strooper, a fellow who had been locked up in the jail at Magreen for allegedly being a repeat murderer that the town has been dealing with for some time and has cursed a nearby forest. At least that's what he's been arrested for. With a little bit of investigating, it turns out that the curse has been around for a while, and Strooper may not be old enough for that. So maybe they didn't do it, but they were found trying to harvest a body. Either way,
oops.
The party did take up the job to try and prove Strooper's innocence and find out what was going on in the cursed forest. And where we had last left off, you guys had been firmly but politely told to leave the jail, and were provided some information on the case file, on what had happened so far. And that is basically where we left off.
Were we, Connor? Were we provided information?
Yes, by me.
When?
I don't know.
Hypothetically, we were given information.
Yeah. It was hypothetical potential information. So hold on, let me just.
Oh,
quickly
cat's
get
getting
these
kicked
going.
out.
Which cat?
I
Oh.
don't know, but Jace picked something up as they got up. So, I'm putting money down. Hold on.
Missy.
What was Anne doing?
She just wanted out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Criminal behavior.
No, that's not Anne. That's Poppy, really.
Two things. One, Jace didn't mention running away from capitalistic society in the intro today.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Doesn't
sick?
need help.
No, look. Sometimes you don't run. Sometimes you fight.
Fair enough.
Raw garlic.
Listen to
Two.
the podcast while you're fighting capitalism.
Exactly.
Throw a punch.
I can't think of a better time to listen to Dicefunctional, personally.
There are tons of times better, but we're not getting into that.
Okay.
The cleric that they called that ended up dead or missing or what have you.
Yes.
Who was it a cleric of?
Mom.
So they didn't specify, but we will say, you will be provided a small stack of notes on the situation. Would you want to go back to the cart to research them, or would you want to go to somewhere inside the city itself? It's up to you.
There's a library somewhere in this city, right?
A library. I don't believe there's a library inside of the city. There is. Where is that hotel you guys saw?
There's no library, but there is a hotel, which is
The Roost.
basically the same
Yeah.
thing.
Basically the same thing. Well, I mean, if you're talking about sitting down and reading something, then
No, Connor, I'm looking for information.
So if you're looking for like news information and stuff like that, that would be in like a microfiche that would be in the government facility, but there is no library here.
I'm looking for information on local legends.
Okay, so you could maybe find some stuff like that in the main building here. There isn't a library, like I've said 3 times now.
I'm just. How am I supposed to do my researcher thing if I don't have a place to research? I
Sorry,
literally have an ability.
not every city has a library.
We're coming up into the modern world and every major city doesn't have a library. Connor,
Not every
It's a
city
small
in
town.
Not every city or
Ma-
town has a fucking phone.
McGregor's
You
not a
nerd.
small town. There's a train station in it.
It's not. It's a small city.
I'd say the courthouse is mandated to hold public records.
It does. And like I said, quit your fucking bitching.
There's a phone in the train station, right? Though.
There's
Yeah.
a phone in the train station. Yes.
Okay. Would it be, while Darius does her research locally, would it be possible for me to like call Kiran and ask for my 2 cleric friends to give me a ring?
You could certainly call Garon and see if you can get a message passed along to them, or see if you can get one of them to call you. Which I think that'd be relatively straightforward. It'd just be a matter of calling the operator in Garon and saying, hey, I need to reach out to, what are their names again?
Nestor and Odile.
Nestor and Odile.
Probably totally botching Nestor's
I
number.
will need to pull out that document again so I can remember roughly what they sound like.
Nestor's probably the one who's most likely gonna know about these things because of his age and he's the Millivois one.
Yeah.
But you never
So-
know though, so I want to call both of them.
So, as for the rest of you who are going to be looking over the files themselves, are you guys just going to head back to the cart and look them over there? Or are there other things that you all wish to do inside the city itself?
Cannot look over files.
Oh, right, you're illiterate.
Do you want to keep me
Currently,
company or do something else?
She can look over them.
I
she
don't
just
know
can't
if we-
read them.
Because Granny's going to be waiting at the train station until her friends call back. So you can do what you want.
I want to wander, but I don't want to do it by myself.
Mm. I mean, that part's largely that if you're looking to wander, you can do it on your own if you wish.
Do you want someone with you?
Actually, no. I think I'll go by myself.
Okay.
I think,
I think
the
city-
imminent danger on us is largely past, I think.
Yeah.
So as long as we're in the same city, and like, communicating where we are,
Yeah.
it'll probably be fine.
Yeah. I will do that.
Okay.
Technically, the bag feature is only after whoever's currently holding the bag.
Not me.
Yeah, well, also just if you're alone and you're attacked, GTFO. That's simple.
I'll just turn into an animal and run away. It's fine.
Yeah.
So Fizzy begins to kind of wander around town on their own. We'll get to you in a second. Granny, you put in a call for Nestor or Odile to
And
give you a
Ori.
call back. And or. I don't think they're both going to crowd around a phone, though. I'll correct myself. I don't think I'm going to act out two people crowding around a phone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kaz, is there anything you wish to do?
Kleptomania. Check.
Do you want to steal? Do you want to steal stuff?
I didn't steal anything the last time, so I have to do the kleptomania check.
All right, fair enough.
That's a 3, so she didn't.
Righto, we will have to deal with that. Oh boy. Okay. Kaz? Not Kaz, sorry. Tana?
Considering what Deus said recently with the talk of vampires, just in case, I think Tana's going to sew together something simple. Just little anklets that have kind of sewn up into them silver banknotes. So that way, if we do encounter something that is normally immune to regular weapon B, she can use her full body for like hiding.
But is using the silver banknotes that you've wrapped around your fists and punching things with them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
You never know.
that's a valid idea. I'll count that as an improvised armament. It won't last long, I'll say. By the time the fight is done and over with, those things are going to be ruined.
Well, it's like a cloth anklet with like slots in it where if you just
Oh, I
slide
know,
in the
but like I
silver.
said, when it's done,
Yeah.
they're going to be ruined.
Yeah.
So I'll let you do that. I don't even need a roll for it, to be honest. So let's go with actually no, Asher, is there anything in particular you want to do, or are you going to look over the files too?
While the files are being looked over, realistically, I don't think there's anything Asher could get done.
You have nowhere near
in
nowhere
such a
near
short
it.
time. So no, he essentially would land assistance unless there seems to be something that comes up that would feel like an artificer's specialization. Otherwise, he'll just assist with trying to find clues.
Cool. And Rot. Fitz. I did it again. Thank you.
Oops, you did it
Fitz.
again.
So, do you wish to look over the notes, assist with the research? What's the plan?
Research
You assist with the research?
and just the paper, just all of it.
Okay.
The looking and stuff.
Okay, so 3 folks are doing research and assistance. We'll get to you guys in a second. I'm gonna go with the other 4 first because, well, actually other 3 because Cody, you don't even need to roll for what you're doing, man. So first and foremost, Kaz. You failed your kleptomania check. So you have an entire city at your disposal.
Mm-hmm.
As you begin to wander throughout the city of Magreen, you would see that there are a few shops that are present around here that are noteworthy. There's nothing extraordinary like you saw in Orpheus or in Giran. It's a lot more simple. There are shops and locations that you would expect for a place like this to have. There's a blacksmith nearby. There's a grocer, a butcher shop. There is what appears to be an alchemist shop as well. It is this one right here. As well as a few locations over here by the edge that look to be more so, shipping related, and one very large warehouse that may or may not have stuff inside of it. You do not know.
Well, you said the warehouse. How could I not say no to that?
That is fair, I suppose. So Kaz, as you begin wandering around the city of Magreen, the distant sound of waves crashing against the shore, and shouts and hollers coming from the docks, you round your way up on what looks to be a large metal siding building. Nothing extraordinary, nothing well suited for keeping the cold out or the hot out, but it is good enough to keep the rain away from whatever is being stored inside. Small bits of rust and paint have stripped away from spots on the actual building itself, but there are windows in the smaller sections of the actual building itself where you can peer inside and see that it is housed wall to wall, floor to ceiling with boxes and crates, all of varying sizes and shapes. They've been labeled, stuffed with straw, newspaper, or whatever else they had on their hands to prevent anything inside from getting knocked around and damaged. But clearly, there's a lot of things in there. Whether it's a lot of valuable things.
Is it just like a general warehouse? Like
it's a big ass warehouse. It looks like it's a warehouse used for basically the entire shipping area here. So any boats that need things that are to be stored, it's being stored here.
Okay. I see.
So,
could I sneak?
Yes, you may. You may roll a stealth check to try and sneak your way inside of the warehouse.
Okay. I mean, what is it? A plus 10?
10? Yeah, it's a plus 10.
Stealth.
Just wait until you get what is it, relentless talent or whatever it's called?
What is that?
Reliable talent, where you can't roll below like an 11 or something like that.
I don't know what that is.
It means that you basically it means your minimum roll becomes like a 21.
Yeah.
If you have proficiency in something, then any roll of 9 or below is treated as a 10.
You get that at level 11 if you don't multi-class.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. So what'd you roll on your stealth check?
A 17.
Plus 10?
Yes.
So is it 27 or did you roll a 7 on the die?
No, I rolled a 17.
Okay, so
plus
it's a 27.
10. Yes, okay. So
Gotcha. Slinking your way in through a partially opened window in the warehouse, you hear the faint sounds of individuals talking amongst themselves. Dock workers loading in boxes and crates into the actual building itself, grumbling about the heat and the weather. Inside, you can see that most of the materials here have been left here to sit, most likely not for long. But you can also see that there are many boxes here that open plenty of options for you. If you'd like, you can roll an investigation to try and find the potentially most valuable box present. Or you can just roll a flat luck. You can just roll a flat d20 and see what you get.
Did I use my hat for hidden things?
You can. That would be giving you assistance on investigation.
Okay. Well, fuck that roll. So is it advantage or is that
It's an advantage.
Okay, so my first roll was a 2, but the second roll was an 18.
Okay. What's your investigation skill modifier?
It's just plus 0. It's plus 0.
So it's just plus 0, so it's an 18. So
Yeah.
peering around, you would find that there are many things here. Bolts of cloth and silks and stuff like that. Things that definitely could be good to grab. Unfortunately, it's also pretty unwieldy. So, worth grabbing, yes, but you're looking at grabbing a bolt of silk that's about yay long. It's not an easy thing to maneuver with, so you kind of move around and see if you can find anything else more interesting. You find what look to be a few closed and locked up boxes made of some kind of a heavy material. You don't think you could hold too many without having to really strain yourself. And then you would find another box that appears to have a faint smell coming from it that reminds you a bit of some of the cigars that Granny smokes.
Okay.
So you have 3 options. Which one would you like to steal?
So,
Or you can steal all 3. It's up to you.
I mean,
Just bear in mind, it'll be tougher.
I know. So the first one was a cloth?
bolts of silk, basically.
Okay. The
So-
second one is
Heavy locked boxes, like metal lock boxes, like safes and stuff like that.
oh.
And the other one is a smaller wooden crate that smells a lot like the cigars that Granny smokes.
I mean, the third option is a lot lighter,
It is.
so it's not cloth. Yeah, cigar box. But I don't smoke, so
Got it. You can. I will have you just roll a sleight of hand.
okay. Where did my dice go?
Again, this is also a +10.
Yeah, that is a. Well, I got a 10
It's
plus
20.
10. Yeah, so a flat. Yeah, just a flat. 20.
Ah, shucks.
You're very easily able to grab this. What is effectively like almost like a briefcase-sized box. It's about yay big in width, yay tall, and you're basically kind of grab hold of this and just kind of sling it up over one shoulder and hold on to it as you begin sneaking your way back out of the area, going right back out the same window you went in. Making your way away from the warehouse. Peering inside, you would see that you're looking at a box of what must be probably about 100 cigars, easily. You could sell this for quite a bit of money.
Could. I could also give some to Granny if she's.
You could also definitely give some to Granny.
Don't tell her it's stolen.
I went grocery shopping, but both of these are stolen, technically.
I went grocery shopping and all I came back with was cigars.
Cigars and bolts of cloth. You know,
Oh,
the usual.
yeah, Cat. What happened to Kaz? Oh, she went out to get cigars.
I don't smoke though. Honestly, I leave that up to Granny to do whatever the cigars of how much she wants to give out. But personally, I don't smoke them, so I leave that up to her once I get back.
Gotcha. I will leave that up to you. I will also tell you that as the party's rogue, you do have a bit of an appraisal ability to you. So this box of cigars you could easily sell for about 500 gold, no problem.
Just 500 gold? Dang.
Yeah. I did some really quick research. Cigars are fucking expensive.
Yeah, because it's drugs in some way.
It's not just that.
It's just there's a what's the word I'm looking for? Status.
Prestige.
Yeah, there's prestige and status to cigars.
Yeah.
They are pricey. So you got yourself a nice little nest egg.
There's a reason she smokes cigars and not like cigarettes. Well, part of it is just it felt more butch to smoke cigars, but
It does.
it's a luxury that she never gave up.
Fizzy.
Yes.
Meandering your way around the city of Magreen, you aren't entirely sure what to do to assist your compatriots, especially because a lot of this is involving reading, and that's not your thing. But you still got an entire city to explore. So is there anything particular that would pique Fizzy's interest right now that you think you'd like to look at? It could be anything from just a random location on a map to an idea that you have. Just let me know.
Hold on. Let's see.
Oh, and don't forget, you can change the pages in the map.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure that out. How do I
You
do
just
that?
double click the DF symbol.
Okay.
See?
Nothing's happening.
Look at the. Yes, it is.
Not on my side. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay. Okay. Shut up.
You're
tired.
okay. You're okay,
I got
dude.
3 hours of sleep last night. I'm so tired.
I know. I can still chuckle.
Okay. That's the train station.
Yep.
What is this? What are these buildings? This is the government building in the middle, right?
Yep, this is the government building here.
And this is the hotel from the last time, right?
Yep, that's the Roost.
And what
This
is
is the train station. That is another hotel that is present inside of the city.
Okay. Right. What is all this stuff?
Meandering your way down this road, you would see that there are a few buildings here. There looks to be a butcher shop and grocers that's over here in this section. And further down the road, you find what looks to be a very tall, oddly shaped building, ramshackle and held together with scraps of wood, but still standing. It looks to be an alchemist shop.
Or the alchemist shop. Sure, why not?
You're gonna head to the alchemist shop.
Sure.
Cool. Making your way inside, you can see that the windows inside of this building are covered, drawn closed with curtains and other bits and bobs to make sure that no light comes in. You can see that the interior is dim, dim, dim. There are candles near some things that are being sold so that one can see, but a majority of this is effectively only visible to you because of your dark vision. You can see inside of this building, moving around throughout the entire location, there appear to be small lizard-like people that are moving from shelf to shelf and are turning things over so that the labels are facing out and restocking shelves and making sure ingredients are still up to snuff by popping open canisters and sniffing at what's inside. It appears that a large family of kobolds are basically responsible for this alchemist shop. And you can see that there is one that is currently behind the counter. They're wearing what looks to be almost like a long lab coat that drapes well past their body as they sit on a stool with their knees hunched up to their chest and they look over at you. I can't hear you.
She just waves. She doesn't say anything at first. She's like, hi.
Ah.
Why is it so dark in here?
Light hurts my eyes.
Me too.
Yes, terrible thing. But
Mhm. It also
other
hurts
people
me-
like it.
It hurts my skin too.
Doesn't hurt mine. Just hurts the eyes.
That must be nice.
Yes.
Uh,
What do you need?
Do you only have like chemical stuff?
No.
What do you have?
Old kobold recipes.
Ooh. What kind?
Bugs, plants, mushrooms, stuff like that. Mix them together to make poultices and sludges. That's the word.
Ooh. Can I see what you have?
Yes. What are you looking for?
I don't know. I just like looking.
Right. He dives behind the counter looking around for something, and you hear the distant clattering and clinking of bottles. And eventually you see that he'll come up with what looks to be like a small clay jar that's been effectively like pasted over with like paper and glue. And on the outside, you can see that there is some scrawling that's been put onto it in something like, do you speak Draconic? Got it. Some language you don't understand. And then he will come back up with a few more like small wrapped leaves, as well as what look to be some effectively like mushrooms pickled in a jar.
She'll look at like the mushrooms and she'll be like, I probably can't talk to those.
No, that.
That's sad.
But
What do they do?
well, so mushrooms are good for people who can't see in dark. Make it easier to see.
Oh, that would be good for.
Leaves are drugs. Drugs. People like them for falling asleep. Meant to be eaten, but you could do something else with it, maybe. And then jar is a potion to help with poisoning.
Does it poison or does it cure for poison?
Cures poison
Cures
and
for
stops further poisoning from hurting you.
Okay. How much are the mushrooms?
Mushrooms? Oh,
The mushroom.
let Connor check his price sheets.
This is a problem because I don't know how to count.
This is a problem.
Do you even have money?
If she was wandering off, if she was wandering off, we probably would have given her at least a bit because you don't want to be like.
But also, I also have
completely-
a piercing, guys. Chill.
Here's the question. Here's the question for everybody. How much money did you give your child as it wandered off into the city?
$20.
She is those children in Tokyo.
Yeah, who are doing the first little task.
Yeah. I was like, at least enough for train fare.
Here's the thing, I think Tana,
She's an adult.
at some point, Tana would have given Fizzy, like, something that has coins sewn into patches on it and specified, this one is 5, this one is 10, this one is 15. So that way she doesn't need to count, she just removes the patch. And
She's been
You
doing
have been
some
learning, in
lessons. She
fairness.
probably can
Doing
count
some
to
lessons,
10.
Yeah, she's not like completely like
Yeah.
unable to like.
It's you can't you don't know the whole money thing. You haven't gotten a whole
money
grasp
is
on
just
that.
a
But
weird
like you can
concept
count.
still.
If
You can
someone
definitely
tells you
count.
10 gold, you can probably peter out 10
Yeah.
gold.
But this will
At
be
this
more than
point.
10 gold, which again she has a plan for this, which is to.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are people in this group who cannot see at night, and we're about to go into a forest that is probably very dark.
Potion for eyes. 150 gold.
Okay, that's more than I know. It's not for me. I have friends who could use it. How many do you have? Say at least 2.
3.
She's gonna call on her ear thing and be like, guys, I found a shop. Actually, Darius, I think you'd really like it. It's an alchemist shop.
If only Jess wasn't eating.
Leave
Eat
me and my
faster!
chicken nuggets alone.
We're
I-
snacking while we read.
I can only eat so fast. This is not the right drink. So my mouth is very dry.
You just gotta do what mama birds do and just swallow it all. Just
God, no.
I have a really bad history of choking on stupid shit.
okay, maybe don't do that then.
Yeah.
No,
But-
just swallow it all. You'll be fine.
No, don't listen to Connor. Please don't listen to Connor.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Connor.
Eat your nugget at your speed.
Did you say chew your nugget at your own speed?
Yes. Eat your nugget at your own speed.
Can the fat girl eat her chicken nuggets in peace?
Kill you.
Why?
Eat your nugget.
Why am I being yelled at for eating my chicken nugget? I'm also gonna take another drink of this awful drink.
And then you have to answer Fizzy.
I know. We got sidetracked while I was eating. Darius is just gonna go, uh-huh. Interesting how?
Hi, kobolds.
I've met some kobolds.
They read the whole thing. They have a lot of stuff. They have cool potions. They have a potion that lets you see in the dark. They have a potion that can be made in that are they have drugs. I know you like drugs. It's true, and you can't deny it.
No, I'm laughing because I'm trying to think of how Darius knows she is in public, surrounded by people. And she'll go, yes. I've been known to use them.
They also have stuff to help with poison, to stop poison. But possibly it should like turn to the kobold and be like, do you have like poison?
Yes.
They also have poison.
I'll be there as soon as I'm done.
Okay. I'm gonna come back. She's gonna turn back to the kobold. She's like, I'm gonna come back. Can you put that aside for me?
Yes.
Okay. Put it aside for me. I promise we'll be here in the next time before it gets dark, because we have to go into the scary woods apparently. Scary woods? I said the scary woods.
You shouldn't go into the woods.
I've heard, but we have to.
Just keeps shaking his head at you.
I know. But someone has to stop whatever's happening in there, and I guess people have decided it's us. I don't know. I know. Hopefully we come out of it. I don't know. I'll be back later. Thank you. Oh, what's your name?
Set. Oh, V.
V?
V.
V? Okay. I'm Fizzy, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'll be back. I promise. I'll probably be back with other people. Bye.
Bye.
I should leave.
Okay. Granny, you have put out a call to your preacher friends, namely, I just had it pulled up, namely Nestor and Odile. It will take maybe about 30 minutes for you to finally hear back from them, but eventually you'll get a call back, and you will hear the voice of Nestor on the back on the other end.
Hey, Nestor.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. How's it going over there?
Everything is going well.
Say, have you heard of the forest outside of Magreen?
Nothing of note. I did hear that there was a cleric sent out there at one point. I believe he was one of those wandering clerics.
Well,
Valea. That's
Valea.
it. Cleric of Valea. I'd heard rumors that one had gone in there, and then didn't come out. That's about all I know.
Sorry, writing it down. Yes. Well, he's definitely dead. She's going to. I don't want to say it all in character, but she's going to explain to him like what we know. Like, Dark's like the cleric, thought there was something in there. People are disappearing, including a squadron of guards, and their bodies are found hung upside down with their throats slit near the edge of the woods. And she's basically asking, like, do you have any idea what could possibly cause that?
Well, for fuck's sake, I think there's a curse. I think they might be kind of right. But I do think there's something in there, too. Curses don't kill people and hang them from trees. People hang them from trees. So, I think that you have something that has brought a curse with it. And that forest is now its home. As for what could do that, I'm not rightly sure. Anything particularly dangerous would have probably caused more damage. The vampires probably would have left the forest and gone and eaten something. So I'm not rightly sure.
Vampires would have left the forest, you think?
It's one thing to make something your home, and it's another to make it your home and then go out of your home. If they're just stuck in the forest and they're only staying in the forest, a vampire can't do that. They'll go mad. Or die.
Even if they have food?
How much food do you think can be in a forest?
Well, there's at least 14 victims.
14 people won't feed a vampire their entire life. They'll have to leave at some point and then come back.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Do you have any tips for not dying to a curse? Because we'll probably be going in there ourselves. Me and my team of friends.
Cross your fingers, hold your faith objects close, and hope everything goes well.
That's about what I thought.
Past that point, I'm not too sure. There's no way. I don't really know what was already in there, so if I knew that, then I could tell you, but I couldn't say. Maybe just have some silver on hand in case.
I think one of my teammates having that taken care of, but
many evil things don't like silver. So it wouldn't be a bad idea.
That's true. I'll see if there's some more we can do on that front. Maybe pick up some make some holy water too.
It wouldn't hurt.
I don't think I can make holy water yet, but there's gotta be something around here.
Oh, no, I do have an idea.
Oh.
If it's something that brought the curse with it, the curse won't go away until it's dead.
Makes sense.
If it's not cursed, then you're just dealing with some homicidal maniac living in the woods, which might want to kill that too. But still.
Right.
But aside from that, that's the only thing I can think of.
Makes sense. All right. Yeah, I guess that's all for now. I'll let you know if I live.
I would hope so. You're the only
Uh,
reason this church is still open. We get most of our money from you.
Of course. Pass my well wishes along to Odile if you see her.
Yes. Maybe they'll pull the stick out of their ass long enough to say hello.
You be nice to her.
Be well.
You as well.
And the call will end.
And she'll go see if there's holy water for sale, because as I said, I don't think I can create holy water. I think that's like a second level thing.
You have ceremony?
Oh, I do.
That's holy water making.
Yeah, you can do that with ceremony.
Yeah, I'll just get some like vials of water and make them holy water.
Yeah, so basically what you do is
I'll do that.
it would take an hour and 25 gold with the powdered silver, which I'm sure Asher has laying around, so just knock off 25 gold. And the vials of water I'm not going to charge you for because you have 2 alchemists and Asher.
There are vials and there are water around.
So, using basically a repurposed inkwell and filling it with water, and some powdered silver that Asher had, knocking off 25 gold, take an hour, you can make some holy water.
Would that just be like one dose, basically?
Yeah, it's 1 hour for 1 dose.
We'll probably be... I want to make 25 GP.
That's 25 gold per dose. Each one takes an hour.
I want to make at least 2, so I'll knock off 50 gold from my inventory. I still have some in my inventory. And I'll make and I'll take 2 hours in the cart to do some holy water.
It is a ritual spell, so if you had 10 minutes, you can do it without casting this. Or using
I've already. I don't even have it prepared, so yeah, obviously it's ritual.
It's a ritual, anyways. It's not a huge deal. It's just one of those things that's just gonna take you time. That's it.
Yep.
Our researching team. Eventually, the lost ducklings come back to the cart. One carrying a box of cigars, one with several bottles ready for holy water, and another with news of strange kobolds and clay jars, apparently. But you guys have some research ahead of you. So, what are the particular things that you guys are looking to research specifically, or do you just want general information? Because I can give you general information. Like, you were given a stack of notes, I can just say it.
Someone who's more awake, please make that decision. This isn't caffeinated properly.
What is
General info.
We don't know.
We asked for Coke, and I was like, does this taste like Diet Coke? And Jess took it. She was like, it tastes like Diet Dr. Pepper. And it's not good.
You've got yourself a nice serving of Diet Dr. Pepsi, and you're going to keel over in about 2 hours, so we gotta pick this up a little bit.
Wait, really? You promise?
No.
You promise?
No, the worst thing would be RC Cola.
I like RC Cola. You watch yourself.
The RC Cola isn't great, buddy. And I say that as someone who grew up in New Hampshire, went to Maine, and would regularly drink Moxie, and was okay with it.
Hey, Connor. There's nothing like an RC Cola and a moon pie.
A moon pie is fine. RC Cola is not.
Okay. So can I
RC Cola
suggest?
and a moon pie.
Can I suggest starting out general, and then if something catches your ear,
Yeah, Jill-
then like more on that.
Jill mentioned general as well, so I'll give you guys the overview.
I would say
Looking through the
that was
notes.
what I had said that Asher was doing.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned that too, but still, like, I have to ask everybody, of course.
Yeah.
So, looking over the notes for general bits of information, the first murder started happening probably about 14 years ago. At first, a lot of them are kind of lost because a lot of them are being passed off as animal-related accidents. There's no mention of people being hung from trees at that moment in time. They are found dead, and in many cases, their throats are basically ripped out. So a lot of these are almost like passing notes, really. They're mentioned and they're noted, but there's no real way to tie it to what's been happening more recently because it's missing all the other details. The bodies aren't ensanguinated. It's not a cleaner cut. They're not tied from a tree. It doesn't really match. It seems more like maybe there's an animal. But either way, that's about when the rumors of a curse started appearing. People went into the forest, they either died or didn't come back out. It persisted slowly throughout the years. Between like the first like 7 years of it, it was pretty intermittent. Like maybe like anywhere between 1 and 5 people would disappear per year. Which, when you have a forest full of animals like bears and wolves or other animals that could attack and kill someone, it's not the end of the, and that's not terribly surprising, and bandits could do it too. So it kind of goes unnoticed for a while. Within the last 10 years though, that is when the cleaner deaths have been appearing. People have been hung from trees, they have been bled out and sanguinated, and it appears to have almost taken a more sadistic note, where it seems like they are being put out on display, it's being done in a way for people to see, and that's when the curse rumor really becomes the popularly believed idea, and everybody starts to tell their kids, stay the fuck out of the forest, don't go there, but of course you always get people who don't listen or don't know about it. They go into the forest and they disappear. And at this point, right now, it is effectively a hard rule. Go into the forest, you're probably going to die. The guardsmen that were sent in, that was recent. It was probably about 1 year ago, maybe. They were sent in well-armed and all trained rangers, effectively. They knew what they were doing in the forest. They were armed with traps. They were armed with weaponry. They did not come back out at all. They're just gone. The cleric also was within the last year. It was a cleric of Valea, like I mentioned. Again, he did not come back out, but his body was put on display. Just far enough into the forest that no one felt comfortable going in. There are a few notes that people have mentioned hearing screaming from the woods, almost like primal, guttural screams. But this is rumors more than anything. What level were those rangers? If I was to rank them between 1 and 20, the answer is go fuck yourself.
Listen, just saying. Are they equal to us or lower than us?
I cannot say that because there's no such thing as levels in game. I said they were veteran rangers. That's all I'm giving you.
Were they as trained as us? Is my thing. Were they as powerful as us?
Hey, Connor.
Yes.
Were there any similarities between the 14 bodies that were hung compared to the other ones that were left abandoned?
No. It seems to be effectively maybe a matter of someone's preference. There is no common variable. They're not all attractive women. They're not all attractive men. They're not all white, black. This game's version of Hispanic. There's no common variable.
That's
Other than they
invisible
were all in the
initially.
woods at one point.
Other than they were in the woods. That's it. The common variable is the location.
I wonder if they were sick. It'd make them spoiled if they were sick. Not to be incredibly morbid, but there has to be a reason why these 14 were left as symbols versus the rest that just went missing. 2 killers. Do you
Did
think
they
they're
do
trying to
any
outcompete each
backgrounds
other?
on the victims?
Nothing particularly extravagant. Farmers, hunters that were out of town and didn't hear the rumors. Travelers who just didn't catch the memo. Stuff like that. There are at least a handful of kids who went in there as a dare. But nothing background-wise on the victims that is, again, noteworthy or tied to the others. They just happened to go into the forest, that's it.
In multiple killers would make sense. It's hard to sustain all of this for so many years.
Did they log? Did they log the moon cycles?
Interesting question. They don't have that listed in their notes, but there is a government building which would take note of meteorological information.
Okay.
So I would say you could definitely roll an investigation check to try and find that.
Yeah,
That's a very good question.
Yeah. That is investigation, you said?
Yep.
25.
25? Cool.
Yep.
Your quick bit of research on the general weather situation would show a lot of this doesn't happen during the more intense parts of the year. Winter is where a lot of this will kind of die off. Simply because during wintertime, most people aren't going outside.
Mm-hmm.
There are enough dangerous things that would be outside during the winter, and there's so much snow that most people aren't going out there.
No.
But there's also no tie to moon cycle.
Okay.
You don't see any obvious signs of werewolves because, well, it doesn't look like it happened during a full moon. It
At
just
least like a lunar werewolf.
Yeah. Yes. Like there's no
Yeah.
werewolf that's like by curse.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
On top of that, it does look like a lot of the more noticeable disappearances happen at nighttime.
Okay.
So there are a few reports from people who went around town, namely investigators, who talked to people, and there are folks who said, yeah, little Tony went over there to the edge of the forest on a dare. He came back fine. But little Tony did it during daytime. And then you see all the other mentions of people who went into the forest proper, and a lot of them happened towards the afternoon dusk hours.
I asked something that I assume Darius would ask.
Sure.
Were all of the cuts for the people hung from the tree made with the same blade, or
It said they were all jagged.
anything
From the
beyond
same
that?
blade? Absolutely not. They're not made by the same blade. Medical notes. Actually, I would say someone should roll a medicine check to try and discern what caused these injuries.
And do any of these cuts match weapons that people brought in with them?
Like I said, all 7 of you are here. You guys can roll. So a medicine check would be the best way of discerning what caused it.
I can do it.
Cool.
I'll give it a shot as well, but I'm not trained. I just have a plus wisdom.
What'd you get, buddy?
What do you think I got by that expression?
1?
20?
Stop it.
Okay.
Which plus 11 is 31.
That's 30.
Would, because I rolled a 9.
Jesus shit. So the ragged cuts are varied. They're not something a weapon would do. Even the most rusty, blunted, unsharpened sword would cut better than that. This looks like something that's either torn or literally someone took a wooden piece, like a stick, and just ripped. This isn't someone who cut cleanly. This is someone who used brute force and ripped something open.
We'll relay that to everyone.
Was anything missing from any of the victims?
All clothes. They were stripped nude.
So it took it took everything from them.
Yes.
Is there in the reports, is there any information, did like a loved one give a description of like something specific that one of these people had on them?
So like apparel that would be noteworthy, stuff like that?
Yeah, like either apparel. I'm actually more thinking like, you said they were completely naked, there was nothing left. I'm thinking like a wedding band, a locket, like a family sword, like something very specific.
So very important things that would be noteworthy.
Yes.
Very, very good question. Those are not listed on the bodies that were found.
Okay.
Meaning that wherever they were not there when the body was put back.
Okay.
So something took all of their stuff, put the body up.
Okay. So in the interview, in these notes, did they make note of like loved one said they had this item on them or something like that?
Yep. There are notes that like a farmer that had a wedding band, a traveler that had a pretty well-made sword. Gone.
Do any of them have a very specific, any of the more recent ones have a very specific description? I'm asking more specifically now. Asher has locate object.
Mm-hmm.
These objects are missing.
So you want to do locate object on the items.
Asher is going to try to locate one of these missing objects.
I will say yes, definitely.
Okay.
I don't have a description ready for you because I did not expect this.
Yep.
But yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I will say you can do this.
Cool. Okay. Asher's
We'll
just to
put that
speed
in our
everything
back
along.
pocket.
Asher's going to let you guys know that's what we're going to do, so that way we're not just blindly locating through the woods.
Cool. We'll put
Okay.
that in our back pocket. That's a very good idea.
Noted. Got it.
So, Nerd Squad, the three of you, are there
Here.
specific pieces of information you want to try to roll for? You want to ask me questions about? Stuff like that. I'm saying specifically the Nerd Squad because you guys have had the most time and opportunity to read things over and digest the information. Everybody else is basically being told, hey, look at this, what do you think? And giving a quick overview.
I have one off the top of my head if you guys are cool with that. Okay. You mentioned it died off in the winter. Is there because Asher would have put specific dates, quote unquote.
Yep.
Is there a huge uptick as pretty much as soon as snowmelt happens?
Yep.
I'm looking to see if, so this thing was really fucking hungry. It didn't eat in the winter time. It started eating a lot. And then here's the other thing. Does it peak back right before essentially snowfall?
So there are peaks just when snow begins to melt again, and just before the snow begins to fall.
Okay. So it's intelligent, animalistic. The marks, was it a single slash or was it multiple slashes?
Just one slash. It's just one cut, one pull, basically.
One pull?
Yeah. Like I said, it's like something jammed a blunt object and just brute force yanked it through.
Okay. Okay. And I don't know if you mentioned this or not. Were there pools of blood underneath the bodies, or
So I would like someone on the nerd squad to roll investigation for that detail. It could actually, if you want all three of you can do it. I have no preference.
What's a 14 plus? You said investigation, right?
Yarp.
That's a
What's your-
24.
I have a 25.
24 and 25.
So yeah, it's hitting.
Yep, y'all got it. You guys would both note that the blood pooling below the actual body itself is mentioned. But there are a few notes that are given that describe that the blood appears to go away quicker than one would expect. And then there is at least one passing note from someone that says effectively something to the matter of, it looks like something was licking up the blood, question mark?
Yep.
I have a question along that line.
Mhm.
How do I put this? How rigid were the bodies when hung? Had they already begun rigor mortis when they were hung, or were they still malleable?
They still would have been malleable.
So, something that can move fast from wherever it killed with the bodies.
Yeah, and just to double check, like, people didn't go missing from outside of the forest.
It's in the forest.
There's not like any anecdotes of like, I don't know, little Timmy went to bed and we woke up and he was not there.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Asher to make something.
Hold on a second. Jess?
Where are these woods in relation to McGreen? Migraine.
No, it's fine. I know what you're talking about when you said that.
I'm sleepy.
So, no, you're okay.
I don't think this
Um,
has any caffeine.
I don't think so either. Just
I
judging
think-
by
No. Diet Dr. Pepper should still have caffeine, and I don't think they sell caffeine-free drinks at like. McDonald's?
I'm currently at on the world map, so I'm just wondering which direction it's in.
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. So
Okay, cool,
basically, the forest in question is not a terribly far distance away from Magreen. It's basically right where the G is on the map.
Okay,
It is. Yeah, it's like not that. Whoops, that's an explosion. I apologize.
We were blowing up. We should have
like,
we should have taken the nitroglycerin from Asher.
It's like
Apologies.
it's like a quarter day travel away from Magreen, which means like within the day, someone could walk to and from. Twice.
Okay.
I think it's an awakened bear who's just really neat about what he does. That's
Pooh
my
Bear doesn't
theory.
fuck around anymore.
Wasn't there just the horror movie about Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. No.
Yup.
Yup. Fuck.
I've got a
Can't believe
feeling
Connor-
Disney does not like that.
They don't have control over that anymore.
Yeah,
so.
I know they don't, but they
yeah,
still
the
don't have to like it.
The moment it entered public domain. Horror movie.
Did you hear that same group is planning on doing one for Peter Pan, which is also going to be entering public domain?
Oh, they're
soon?
doing a whole horror movie.
I know, right?
I think it's easy to make Peter Pan a horror movie. It's already
Oh.
kind of horrifying if you think about it.
But I mean, like, I just love the idea that they're finally doing that with those children's stories, because then Disney just has to sit there on their thumbs and be like, all right.
Well, these also
Fine,
aren't
then.
Disney original stories. Like, it's because of Disney that they didn't enter the public domain earlier, but
But still.
Yeah.
For Connor, you might be the only one to get this. The Berenstain Bears meet the Bender family.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, distance-wise, it's not far. It's quarter of a day's travel, that's all.
So, I'd like to ask Asher to make something.
Okay.
Something that can emit a bright flash of light. It seems this thing is some sort of nocturnal predator who hibernates. Who probably has pretty good senses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You'll see Asher kind of turn around on his desk and pull something forward. It is a little wind-up mechanical duck. This actually might be a good time to finish this little thing that I had been working on. I can make one for you.
I'll also say, Asher, if you're not looking for something reusable, it's also pretty easy to just light some magnesium on fire.
I was gonna say he was either gonna put magnesium or phosphorus.
That will work too.
Yeah, because I was actually in my head. I just haven't had him roll for it yet because it hasn't come up. He's working on a quack bang. It's literally just it's a mechanical duck that just runs, and then it ignites a bunch of phosphorus and literally just bang.
Like one
All
of
right.
those TikToks where a little mechanical duck rounds a corner and stops and then suddenly like runs along very quickly at you.
Mm-hmm.
Aw, what a cute little
Bang, and then just
Complete with the screen shake.
wait.
and yes, it does audibly quack. Exactly.
There it is.
Right before it ignites.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm judging Jill from the hallway. Book on me that might be useful in the situation that I stole from a certain criminal. It's a notated historical book about Ekes. Has there been other records of cursed areas similar to this throughout history? And Ekes,
Oh,
like
yeah.
something that could have, well, like things that have very much clearly been moving around, maybe?
Okay, so like similar to this.
Yeah.
So, similar to this note by note? No. But there is always something like this or something cursed somewhere in Ekes. Hell, there's an entire section of what was effectively like marshlands that people just avoid in the south. That's called the Brumsanreer.
Bless you.
And Brumsanreer, sorry. And it's constantly covered in mist, constantly swampy. You stay the fuck out of it because it is dangerous, and people know it. And there
It's
are
the
plenty of rumors of
Everglades.
curses there. Yeah, it's the Everglades. There are crocodiles in there, and they will eat you.
So we'll send
Yeah,
Fizzy in.
big ape.
What?
Skunk ape.
Skunk ape.
Do you not know what the skunk ape is?
I know what the skunk ape is. Don't worry.
Okay. I was like, out of everything you couldn't know.
The
Is there
skunk ape
anything
is the one thing I don't.
Is there something historically similar here that's happened in the past? Around Margaret. I'm very sleepy.
You're okay, dude. So no, nothing historically similar that has happened here in Magreen. That would match up with this reported issue. Like, this isn't something that happens every X amount of years or what have you. There are historical mentions of vampires of various types that have been found. The last time a reported like pack of vampires or like a den of vampires was around
Nice.
quite a while ago. Mostly because there's only so much subtlety you can have when you have a bunch of individuals, and at a certain point one of them makes a mistake and then vampires come in and just kill them all.
Okay.
So nothing that matches up with this. This seems unique. Drink something else.
I don't have anything else to drink. I gave Jill the actual Coke.
I have another question that people might
Also,
be able
the ice
to
and
look up.
this melted immediately, so it's watered down too.
Gross.
Has it ever been reported outside of when known parties have gone in or thunderstorms where smoke was rising from the forest?
No reports of groups of people or like smoke coming out of the forest. No.
There's probably not someone living in there.
No. It'd be very difficult to live through the winter without lighting a fire. Not impossible, but damn difficult. So, any other questions from you guys? No? Jace?
Not.
Jolly, anything from you?
Question, but more of an action.
Sure.
Could I use predict weather within the next 24 hours to predict what the weather will be like if we do head into the forest at that point?
Sure. That's actually a pretty good idea. Next 24 hours, it looks like the weather is going to become mildly overcast. There will still be glimpses of sun, but it won't be raining. It's just the sun's going to be covered up by the clouds a little bit.
Okay. That's good to know at least. So
I was actually going to suggest we enter the forest from the side that is downwind. So that way,
I'm going to agree with that.
it's less detectable.
Yeah, Asher thinks it's animalistic. But if it's a vampire, it's basically it's primal. But there's also a chance it's not a vampire specifically. How does everyone feel about taking essentially an entire other day, and not the night that we're on right now, but the next night going in?
Are we going to go in at night, or are we going to go in at like closer to day?
We could. How many hours of daylight do we have left?
Today,
Yeah.
you got like a handful of hours of daylight left. It's 5 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't want to enter too early in the day, because this thing seems to be most active at night, so we don't want to have to try to push through the night or camp at night.
Yeah.
But we might be able to get further in if we start like a couple hours before dusk.
Okay.
And maybe physique or can shapeshift into something that can smell, or maybe Frog can scout, because if we're gonna enter downwind, that means our scent isn't carried to it, but if it has a scent, that scent will be carried to us.
Yep.
We might be able to track it on top of the locate object, because locate object has a limited radius as well.
Hold on. Joe, were you looking to say something? Okay.
Because I think Frog has advantage on sniffing, right? I think so. I feel like I remember this.
Frog has keen hearing and smell.
That's it. Because then we wouldn't have to use up a wild shape.
Okay. So, with night approaching, Asher is going to finish his quack bang. 24 on that.
Cool.
So I think we're good.
Done.
Cool. Do we think the coat is done if I cast one more time? I'm not sure. It's got to be close to 30 days casting magic aura on the coat.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say it'll be finished by now.
Okay. Cool. Last night of that, and then Asher is going to put into his ring, because I haven't declared it yet. Asher is going to put the spell Pyrotechnics into his spell store ring.
Cool.
Cool. That, and then
put in any spells?
Hmm?
Did you want me to put in a spell to the ring?
Nope. I got pyrotechnics.
Because,
Another
like,
emergency option.
because
blind
I
it.
do have lesser blood sight, which gives life sense.
I would rather have a secondary thing to the quack bang, because this with pyrotechnics, it literally is, it's a bunch of fireworks and it will blind them. So it's a secondary stun that we have, whether for getting out of there or actually attacking this thing.
One more question. Does Asher have unspun wool hanging around?
Yep. Not a lot, but he's got some.
For some of the more vulnerable or exposed people, I might make some scarves out of it. Because that is how sheepdog are effectively protected from wolves, and they can fight because they have thick, wiry fur that
Throat protection.
stops the fangs short because it gets caught in them. If
That
this
would
thing
be
is
good.
going for the throat,
Not a bad
then
idea, actually.
this could mean one piece of armor essentially, and then
It could
Yeah.
be the difference between life and death. I will say that's not a bad idea. Michelle, were you about to say something?
When are we going? So are we going the next day at like 3 or whatever? Or are we going this day? Is my question.
The next day, so like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So you have an entire like night to adjust spells. We have a long rest to
Mhm.
adjust spells to actually prep before we go into this.
Perfect.
And are you?
Yep.
Now, when we say leaving at 2 or 3, a.m. or p.m.
PM.
p.m. Okay, so
Like,
so you'd be arriving at that forest at night.
No. So we're our goal is to arrive at the forest at like 2 or 3 p.m. so we can go into the forest during the day,
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
scout,
Sorry.
Yeah.
and then have an
I
idea.
thought you meant you
Yep.
were leaving at 2 or 3. I was
No.
like,
No,
you're pushing your luck, boy.
Yeah, nope.
No, we're-
that's when we
I-
want to
I think-
arrive at the forest.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do that.
and part of my hope is that like it'll be dormant and maybe we can even stumble across it and take it out while it's asleep.
Mhm.
Um,
It'll give
and we all
Darius time to do like clue and stuff like that while it's still
Uh-huh.
daylight and all that.
Speaking of which,
And-
Darius is taking a bunch of money and disappearing.
Okay.
okay.
off me.
Tana is
Connor, don't give me
giving-
that look. I already talked to you about it.
Tana's giving us all improvised silver weapons, right?
Yeah, like, technically speaking, I think it would be pretty easy to coat any weapons in silver. It wouldn't be a long-lasting coat, but it would probably do the job. And that might be an Asher specialty, but if you had any secondary stuff like bludgeoning or blunt weapons, Tana can make a fitting for weapons.
Well, I thought you were literally making like the sewed pieces of cloth with the
Yeah. Well, that's more armor, but yes, she's making that for everyone.
Okay. As long as we have silver on it, because Granny would have shared the minimal information from her priest friend.
The only thing I want to do is make sure I get the stuff for the seeing in the darkness potion from the kobolds, so that the people can't see in the dark, so we don't have to have a light
Mm-hmm.
going.
Asher, is Asher still using his nighttime goggles? Is that still like active? I don't know how artificers work.
So I don't. Connor will have to say whether Asher would be able to finish building out the goggles to have permanent night vision on them. But He does not have the ability to just enchant them. He uses an artificer infusion. It's on his helmet
Oh, okay.
now. Mm-hmm. I have
So
this. Asher has the spell. We could make them, but I don't know if Asher has all the materials.
No, that's totally right. No, it was more like a, do we need 3 doses or 2? But if you want to use
Got
that
it.
in artificer in whatever.
Yeah, infusion. Yeah.
Infusion for something else, we can just get 3. It's no problem.
I will say out of character, it doesn't hurt to have an extra.
Yeah.
That's also
Yeah.
true, yeah.
I
that
would
is
just
true.
say I asked to put aside all 3, so
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point.
we should
Can
just
I
get
ask something?
Yours?
Yes, you can.
So are we claiming that this one's animalistic in some way?
It all the
It'll-
details would line up with that assumption. Yeah, that's what
Do
we're
we
going
want-
with.
Do we want to mask our scent?
That would be a good idea, maybe.
That
Yep.
genuinely isn't a bad idea, and
Put deer
Don't-
pee all over.
okay. All right, I need to say something as someone who did go hunting as a child. You don't dose yourself in deer piss. Yes, Jill?
Sorry.
Is there a way that we could get an easier check for any scent hiding? Because I do smell like a corpse.
I was gonna suggest Rod to help with that sort of
Yeah.
Bring it in,
masking.
everyone.
Oh, you are so full of corpse juice.
Val just stops putting on perfume.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be as
Yeah,
simple,
just-
it would genuinely be as simple as don't put on perfume that day.
Yeah.
Just simple as that.
not a trace help with that at all.
Yeah, pass without a trace does help with that because that's part of the stealth. But like
Ugh.
the fact that we are specifically pointing out, hey, we are going to use Rot's corpse-like smell to help hide our scent. Yes, that is perfectly fine. And I
They're
will say,
scented.
yeah. Well, this is one of those things that like I don't always think of, even though realistically, from like the perspective of something with multiple senses, like smell, yeah, hiding your scent is a very big deal. I didn't think of that, so good idea, Jolly. I should just make an item like that. Why don't I make an item like that?
We're relying on sight when sense is actually the most dangerous part of this situation.
It is. Well, also also, this is. I'm gonna go off topic for a brief second, and then we're gonna go into a break, so that way we can polish up some things and then move on. Like, sense of smell is also the thing that will save people in a lot of cases, because bears stink like hell. If a bear's coming, you're not gonna hear it first. You're gonna smell it. So like, I don't. Whatever. Jess, you had a thing you wanted to play out?
Not even that hard. Dareth
Cool.
has come back and she's holding a giant stack of magic paper. And she goes, "Bits. No one be alarmed if I bleed on this again later," and disappears into her room. And
Take
I
a
will try.
stack with you.
I am transcribing Seance into my grimoire, and then after that has passed, however long that takes, I'm bleeding on the book again.
Okay. What in particular? Are you
I'm looking
something in
for-
particular you're looking for?
There's a first level spell called Blood Print
Blood print. Okay.
that I would like to try to grab from it.
How much blood are you putting in?
I don't remember how much a first level needs.
I never said.
I know. I'm going off my own assumptions. We're taking a long rest after this at some point.
One hundo. Yeah, you're definitely doing that.
Cool. I'm gonna just put 25 in.
Cool. That will give you the spell blood print, and you'll be able to copy it.
Cool. How much is it for a first level spell? No, for paper.
Oh, for
50.
paper, 50.
So the entire 250 I just got is gone. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
It's
Welcome to the torture of being a wizard.
50
I'm
per
not
spell
even a
level
wizard.
in 2 hours.
Say that's the one thing I don't miss about being a wizard is constantly having to like money.
Yeah,
Money.
well, at least I get
Money.
really cool spells.
I also get really cool spell as a druid.
You don't even know what bloodprint does.
You're
It's
right.
I may as well just make an item that lets a wizard just take a heap of gold and then just fucking burn it. Because that's basically what you do every single fucking time.
I'm not a wizard.
Oh,
like-
it's so tragic.
The thought of a school of wizarding that is based around just taking armfuls of money and throwing them into a trash pile out back, lighting it up, and it's like, I know things now.
I'm a wizard of the school of Marxism. Thank you very much.
It'd be like that
Um,
sometimes.
Any other things that you guys want to do right now before we quickly go to a 10-minute break?
Not that I can
no?
think of.
Cool. Let's go to a quick break. We'll settle on a few other brief details, and then we're gonna get you guys over to the forest.
Whoa.
Be right back.
Cleo seems very chill right now. Or is that Houdini?
That's not
That's
Cleo.
That's Houdini.
That's
I can't tell. You have a
Houdini.
lot of calicos.
I do.
Cleo is
Cleo's-
not as splotchy.
Cleo's technically a turtle, isn't she?
She's a tortoise shell.
Yeah.
Torty.
Oh, Houdini.
Deanie is
She's
my
a little
babe.
stretch.
Cleo also has Cleo also has the tortitude.
Yeah. Houdini is the only one I can hold like a baby like this.
That's because she is a baby.
It's true.
Oh, she's so cute.
Earlier, I was holding her like a baby and she was making biscuits in midair. And so I went like this to pet her and she put her paws up and stopped my hand and then was making biscuits on my palm. I was like, thank you.
It's like, no, allow me.
She's just a little baby.
You
What do we
guys.
do?
Yeah,
This
no,
is more
it's
important.
fine. I like cats.
See, like I said, chat, cats.
I don't know. I think Houdini's more important than.
For a
wanna keep
moment
talking?
there,
What was that?
for a moment there, I forgot we were back from break because I
Um,
was just looking at Houdini.
I just blacked out. There were
I blacked
cats.
out for a moment. I was caught up in the euphoria.
You guys, go and set up all the little tricks and preparations that you have, and begin making your way over to the forest to the west of Magreen. You would arrive there in early afternoon on the 53rd. And you can certainly see. Yes.
Did we not revisit the place that Fizzy wanted to go to?
I assumed that you guys just bought them, unless you want me to play out.
Oh, okay, then no, don't worry about it. I wasn't paying
Yeah,
enough
I just
attention to
didn't-
know.
Like, did you? I already marked off the money.
Hold on, I'm gonna be real serious with you. I am
Yeah?
not awake.
Hey, I know what can make you awake. Allergic reactions always make me more awake. So just take your face and put it onto Houdini's belly.
Yeah, nothing like some anaphylactic shock.
It'll keep you.
That-
It keeps me awake.
I
And
don't
then
want to
you'll
die
crash
because she
harder.
claws my face off.
Yeah.
Pain also will keep you awake.
I was
No,
gonna say,
it'll
like, I think it'll wake her up, but not because of allergies.
No, and when I'm in pain, I get really, really nasty. That is not a recommended course of action. I get really mean.
Can I recommend caffeine pills?
I literally drink caffeinated water all day.
Delicious. So, with your potions, various preparations at the ready, you guys arrive out in front of the forest to the west of Magreen. You can see that it is effectively a patch of forested land. It doesn't go on for very far, maybe a handful of acres, really. It's nothing like a massive forest, but it's large enough that one could get lost for a fair amount of time, and it's large enough that one could see how something could hide in there. You can see out in front of the forest themselves that there are a few signs of the hanging bodies that you had heard reports of. There's nothing there right now, but there are what appear to be something like ropes that are dangling from trees, with once tied loops where legs would be. Everything seems a little bit grayer here. The trees seem a little unhealthy and a bit odd. With the overcast day, it certainly isn't helping things. There's still light out, thankfully, but the tree cover here is dense, very thick. Once you head far enough in, it is going to be dark. You don't doubt that. So, would you like to start making your way into the forest?
You know what? Yes.
I have a few tips from home. So, Tana would say, this kind of horse is all over my home, it is. I've a few suggestions. If something screams or calls out for help, you don't answer it. If something says your name, you don't speak to it. Especially if it shouldn't know your name. And keep an eye out on the behavior of animals. If they're running away from something, it's probably something pretty dangerous there.
Thanks for the tip.
All right, noted.
Asher, you begin to direct Rizzy to... Is it Rizzy? Right? I said it right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. You begin to direct Rizzy to begin bringing the cart in. And as you are doing so, you can see the issue very quickly. It's not that the trees themselves are dense with leaves, that the trees themselves are densely packed together. Your cart could make its way in, but if you get your cart stuck, you have a much bigger issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to bring the cart in, or do you want to go on foot?
Foot. Is there... Gosh, I'm trying to think if there would be a good way... Yeah. So what Asher is going to instruct Rizzy to do is essentially follow what he's saying. Fits. If you would be able to, what we're going to do is have, we're going to have Rizzy try and stay about the closest distance that she can to us, as we go. With the way that your mind works, I'm assuming you would be able to call out which direction it is that we are going, kind of at any bit of time. If we change direction or we go a significant amount of time, if you would be able to relay that information back to her, or relay it to me and I can relay it back to her. That way, Rizzy will be the shortest distance in a straight line out of the forest.
Basically, you guys are going to try and, through Fitz's keen mind and Rizzy's communication, try to keep Rizzy as close to your edge as possible.
Yes.
So that way it's a straight shot. Okay, that's a perfectly good idea. And yeah,
Fitz.
Jill, Fitz can do that, no problem.
Row? Just going down the list of characters now.
I was saying rot. It was a long O. It was not row. It was rot.
Yeah.
It was
No,
rot.
we've all done it. I've definitely given the long O. Row. I said rot.
Row your boat.
I never even.
I feel like you cheated by having.
I didn't even realize I did it till we started, and I was like, "Oh, this is just my last character with the T on the end."
The difference is that there's no world where you can go, here's my character wrote.
It's road.
Just wait until campaign 3 when Jill brings back Wrath. Just tack on a
adding
letter
letters.
each time.
Also,
Oh, I hate you.
I gave my character T, and now they're rot. and Raj Trent. It's Raj Trent. And
Oh
Raj
my
got
God.
me.
I get it.
Two
I
of
get
them
it.
got,
I
you know,
get
like
it.
test
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be setting up a creepy atmosphere, and here we are with these fucking knee slappers, apparently.
You can. We're starting to get nervous.
Actually,
We're
that was
calling-
an ankle slapper.
Thank you.
Ow!
Oh my god.
It's a little bony.
That's what she said?
Anyway.
Interesting choice.
That's what she
But-
said to Rod. That's a little
Oh, oh man,
Oh my god.
No.
that's sad.
No, that's solid.
Nervous
No.
energy is happening.
Yeah. You can tell we're getting nervous.
I'm always like this.
I just like making the jokes.
Yeah.
Plot
Really
twist,
great.
I'm always nervous.
Yeah, Jill's not nervous at all. Look at them.
That's my secret cap. I'm always nervous.
Yeah, I'm not even nervous.
Sucking on
It's
the
social
vape. Not
anxiety,
nervous at
not
all.
situational anxiety, but it still applies.
Joke.
Made me laugh, and my vape came out of my nose.
Oh my
Can
god.
you open the door again to let some of the smoke out? Because you anxious, babe.
I
am
anxious, babe.
I'm sorry. It smells like mangoes.
Mangoes are delicious.
Carry on. They're so good.
It smells like vape
Okay.
juice mango.
Yeah, but that's still good.
Vape
So-
juice has a distinct underscent.
All you bastards. So, abandoning the cart and having Rizzy begin to work their way around the edge to get as close to you guys as possible, you begin making your way into the forest itself. And you can see that despite its location inland, it's still surprisingly wet in this forest. It's almost like you stepped into a small marsh or swamp. The ground beneath your feet is damp at best, and in some locations it is practically sopping wet, and your feet will stick in the mud and have to get pulled back out. And the further deeper inside you go, more pools of standing water begin to appear, where it looks like the only thing that lives in these areas would be maybe the occasional ranabora, maybe some birds, bugs, mosquitoes. All you can hear is the occasional of little flies and mosquitoes standing around the stagnant pools with their larvae. You guys decided to make yourselves go from the direction that would be downwind, sorry. So you will not catch any have any odors from yourselves blown downwind. Very smart. I would like all of you to roll stealth checks.
I'm passing without a trace.
Fair enough.
We long rested before this, right?
We did.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
If you guys did not mark off a long rest, you should be at full health with all your spells. Make sure you
Who's-
have.
It's more just the whole health.
I rolled a nat 20.
Hey.
I
Hopefully
wanna
that's a
roll
good
for
omen.
Stinky.
Want to roll
That
for
is good.
I'm gonna roll for Stinky.
So do you get
Uh,
advantage because you smell as much as you do?
Roll false stank. The DC you have to hit is lower because you guys have cleverly set yourselves up, we will say.
That's a good thing.
And we have passed without traces. So
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
it's a very good.
Okay, cool. We'll start with you guys then. Darius.
That's a spicy 10 total from my side, plus the 10 from Pass Without a Trace. So,
Sweet.
I rolled a 7 on the die, plus 3.
Fitz.
23 total.
Busy.
18 plus 2 plus 10. 30.
Granny.
A nat 20. The final number is plus 3 plus 10 for 33.
Tana.
6 on the die, plus 7 plus 10 for 23.
Asher.
These are really struggling.
A
people.
grand total of 21.
Okay. And ouch. Sorry. My headache's coming back. Kaz.
16 plus 10 plus 10.
36.
I don't,
Christ almighty. At first I hear numbers and I go, no, that's not
I
that
don't
good.
bother.
Oh, wait, never mind.
I just don't bother.
Let's just keep adding double-digit numbers.
Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. Yeah, I don't know the plus 10.
The wind blew and Cass disappeared. Damn it. All right.
I am concerned when I rolled a 6 on the die and tied for the second highest. Or third highest.
And
You know,
it was one of those days, Madagi.
Like everyone
Further-
sneaking through the swamp, Tana is to lift up her entire leg.
Making your way further and further in, not immediately alerting anything to your presence. You guys will note, the more perceptive amongst you will notice some odd things here. First, the deeper in you go, the more a low-lying mist begins to pool around you guys. The forest itself begins to have a slight humidity to it, and the mosquitoes and bugs begin to fly about you almost incessantly. Second, looking at those pools of water, you will note that there have been definitely some falling leaves that have come down from the trees above you, but the leaves have almost grayed. Not like it's become fall, but they've grayed like they've died on the branch and just started to fall away. But the most perceptive amongst all of you, which I believe is Fizzy, you will note that some of the leaves have basically fallen down into the water themselves, but aren't floating on the surface. Instead, they have fallen all the way to the bottom of the floor of the water itself and are just sitting there.
Can I pick up a leaf?
You put your hand into the water and you pick up a leaf, and it feels like a leaf. It's wet. It's
Leafy.
not dry, but it's a leaf.
Sort of like inspect it. This is weird.
Very weird.
Leaves don't sink.
Not unless if it's raining.
I thought I checked the weather.
No rain here.
I mean, if it's not water, it'll sink. Leaves sit on top of water because of the density differences. Are we sure this is just water? I know what I want to do.
I was about to make the motion of like, but that would
That's
be
piss,
so
alright.
Hold on. I need to double check.
Hard cut. Asher on hands and knees.
You do not
That's
want to
piss.
drink, regardless, you do not want to drink standing water in a forest. That is the worst thing you could possibly do in this situation.
Well,
How refreshing. Falls over dead.
it would probably be something like oil or vegetable oil because there's not much that is less dense than water.
Yeah, could we like give it a little stir with a stick?
Looks like water.
Can
I think the leaves are just depressed.
can I take a vial and like sort of scoop up a little bit of water and look at it?
Yeah. You
I
scoop up a little bit of
diagnose
water,
this tree with depression.
swish it around a little bit. It looks like water, like regular standard water. A little stagnant. Definitely some mosquito larvae in there, but
Yeah.
Burn them.
I guess
Just
in that case,
water.
then it is the tree that's got depression and not the water being funky.
It's the giving tree, except to realize it's now in a capitalistic world, and it can
Grim.
only give and never gets in return.
I don't think Shel Silverstein's book would have been as popular if that is what he was about.
No.
Noting the oddity of the leaves, you begin making your way in further and further. I would like perception checks from everybody if you'd be so kind.
Gonna be one of those days, is it?
Always a good sign when a player says that.
Wait, what are we doing again?
Perception
What the-
checks.
Perception.
Okay, you're not gonna believe this.
Oh, is your luck turned?
Another nat 20? You
Keep
can
rolling
look at
that
it if you
die.
don't believe me, but
I believe you. I just remember you
Tried to
grumbling about your dice rolls being bad, and suddenly they're
in
amazing.
combat they are.
Oh, you see, Becca has my normal luck. You know,
I'm
Becca's
taking
normal
it
luck.
from you. You've had it for long enough.
Completely valid.
So, Asher first.
6.
Ooh.
Great. Kaz.
Yep.
I got a 13 plus 5.
18. Okay.
Yeah.
Darius.
That's a spicy 17.
It's a spicy meatball.
Hits.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Fizzy.
23.
Granny.
With a nat 20, it's still only a 22 total, but
And Tana.
5 plus 5 for 10.
10. Okay.
whew,
If my next roll is a 4, you know something's up.
you're
Yep.
thinking about all the mud in your fur toe beans.
The.
Yo.
What are you doing?
I needed a place to put my vape smoke.
Oh my
That's
god.
why it looks so weird.
No!
No, that's a real thing.
I'm so sorry. High schoolers do that, Jill.
I'm just
Yo, I
thinking
just hot boxed this coke, bro.
Do you think
just
it's
thinking
gonna
of the
taste like mango after
spider
long
from
enough?
Constantine
Eh,
that we watched last night.
You drink most of a Coke, vape into it, then you dip your hard pizza crust into the remainder.
Ah. What do
Gross.
my human eyes
Uh-oh.
see? This is crazy. I want to move on.
What are my human eyes
Opposite
saying?
of a bong.
You're seeing the opposite of a
Again, unfortunately, Jason's right. This is not an uncommon tactic people use.
It's a
funny as
real
hell.
thing, dude.
But it just
Um,
looks so funny because Jill went, I found the solution very
Fine.
quietly.
Okay, insanity aside, everybody who rolled above I believe a 13 was my DC, you'll begin to smell the faint odor of copper on the air, and a faint smell of rot beginning to drift towards you. No, you're Fitz. Don't
Right
respond to
there.
rot.
I still smell like rot.
Okay.
I'm rotten.
Anyone else smell blood?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm having a hard time smelling anything but the swamp with me being so close to the ground.
You're gonna need a long bath after that, honey. To get the mud out of you first.
It's probably doubled her weight.
Oh.
Should I attempt to look at the object? So that way we have a bit of a heading.
Now would probably be a good time to do that, yeah.
All right.
It's also mid-molting, so she looks awful right now.
Yes.
Oh, she looks so raggedy.
All right. So for the next 10 minutes, here we go.
You begin to cast Locate Object, looking out for any specific, one of the specific lost objects that were mentioned in the reports,
Mhm.
and you don't immediately note anything. But as you guys begin making your way further and further into the forest, you will eventually start to get a distant blip on your outside range of it, where it is pointing towards a location where there appears to be an object that is being pointed out to you. But before you do so, you guys will all become very aware with the higher rolls in perception noticing it first, and then the lower rolls noticing it afterwards, you become more and more aware of the smell of copper and rot. It is becoming intense. Let me put you onto the map.
Yay.
You know, maybe combat will wake me up.
Maybe so.
Connor, I have to ask, is this
Yeah?
map considered difficult terrain?
In some locations, certainly. I have it marked off on my side, don't worry. And here we go.
Here we go, one more time.
Everybody's
Feeling
feeling
fine. Here we go now.
Yes, here we go.
You're in the
actually,
bottom
okay.
left-hand corner.
As
It's
sister
dark
of a
here.
Backstreet Boys fan, the next part would go, oh yeah, here we go. In sync has
It's
got
got
to
the
go.
flow.
No, but it's in sync has got to go because I am the sister of a Backstreet Boys fan. Of like a huge
So-
one.
So about those dark vision mushrooms.
Would you like to take a dark vision potion?
Yes.
How long does it last?
How long does it last? Yeah.
1 hour.
That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah. Because we're probably like, how far does locate out? 1,000 feet.
Yes.
Yeah. About
Yeah.
the time that Asher starts pinging objects, she would probably eat the mushroom.
Okay. Give me a moment while I adjust Tana and Granny's tokens to be able to see the dark.
Great news, though. Mushrooms here for Fizzy to talk to. I've already found
Many
them on the map.
mushrooms.
Enemy spotted.
I literally
spotted.
spotted it.
Yeah.
Oh, bones.
Yeah, but mushrooms.
Fuck those bones.
Yeah, I can still see in color, so it's really easy to see certain details.
Yeah, same.
I guess it's in color because
I
I'm a
do
fucking
love being a
girl.
drow sometimes.
Oh, there's more bones. There's a lot of bones.
I do like the thought that the most vibrantly dressed one in the group can only see in black and white right now.
So welcome to the map. For your reference, any spot that looks like water, like say here or there, that's difficult terrain. Keep that in mind.
Hey, Connor.
What's up?
Quick question. I can see this because I can look at the map and, I can see things pretty well because of my whole dark vision.
Uh-huh.
I can see those traps that are in the blue squares, can't I? Those are bear traps you have hidden under those blue squares.
They might be.
There's no might. I can see it, Connor. Because I was like, oh, I wonder what these... And the blue squares are gone. You
I
punished
don't know what you're
us
talking
now.
about. Time to gaslight you.
There was
There's like
never
one
Dude, I
spot
can see
of
those
leaf that
pictures.
is brighter colored there.
Connor, you may have taken the blue squares off. I can still see where the bear traps are.
Yes.
You put them on the map.
Guys,
I
this
did.
is just lending to my theory that it is an awakened bear, and he's smart enough to avoid the trap.
Or,
he took the traps and he set them because why are they called bear traps? I'm gonna make them
Yeah.
human traps.
Human trap.
I'll also say the bear traps mean you get stuck and it's a fresh son of blood, so whatever's hunting people for blood.
Ew.
Yeah, that would make more sense, but I think it's
but
the
I do
bear.
like the awakened bear.
I think
Well,
it's the
it's my
awakened bear
truth.
out for revenge. Yeah, that's
It's
my.
my
It is
truth.
my truth
It's
as
your
well.
truth.
Yeah. And he's a vampire.
Yeah, but Connor, you didn't hide the bear traps very well.
I don't know what you're talking.
Actually, they are hidden very well, but they were
Asshole.
marked.
It's almost like I am responsible for playing this as the person who put him down.
I know, but the joke I have to
Jeez,
make is the
dickhead.
fact that they were covered in squares is there. Otherwise, I would not have seen them. Actually, I was looking around at one corner. I would have seen one. I would not have known about the others.
New theory just dropped. The awakened
Begin
bear is
moving your
also
characters.
a vampire. Sorry, go ahead.
We can move our
Chef,
characters
can I
now.
just be hidden
You may
here?
move your characters. What was that?
I would like to percept again.
Yeah, roll perception. Like I said, move your characters, roll perception.
I don't want theirs to be way out somewhere
Ah.
on her
Isn't
own.
that
Too bad
water?
she's walking and she's not slowing.
What was that,
Fits-
Cass?
No, I'm saying, isn't where Darius is water?
Yeah. So Darius, you are slogging your way through what is effectively a small pond.
I'm 6'6". I'll be fine.
I know. All right. Never
Where
mind.
is there somewhere on here that's pinging? Like, what's the direction of the thing that Asher has?
It's further up past this section here, but this
Okay.
is the spot where you're immediately noticing the smell of death and the presence of
Okay.
death.
Hey, some
Alright.
of these mushrooms look. Hey, some of these mushrooms look kind of weird.
Can
Like this one next to a hip bone, maybe. I don't know what that is.
Aren't
I
they-
didn't go to
I
school
rolled-
for anatomy.
I rolled a 21, by the way.
Okay. What are you looking for in particular?
Sign of person, essentially.
So in the general vicinity, you can certainly see plenty of signs of people. Namely, you can also see that there are bear traps that aren't super well hidden, but hidden enough that if you weren't paying attention, you would see them.
I will point them out to everyone
Um,
so that people can avoid them.
so there is one here. Here. Over here. That's what you would immediately see.
Right.
There's also definite signs that people were here. And you're going to use the word were because the bones and the pelvis that you can see faintly covered by foliage means that there was a body here at one point. It's not here anymore, though. You'll
Are
also
there
note,
bite marks on the bones.
yes.
How
Also, Cody?
large?
Don't interrupt me.
Alright.
You would also see that there are very obvious bite marks on the actual bones themselves. And in several spots of what look to be dried blood, there are mushrooms that are sprouting up out of the ground. As for what else you can immediately see, Asher also very clearly is near other signs of people being nearby.
Yeah, Asher was able to pick out the shield, so he's actually gonna start kind of investigating this little spot, and he would call it that he found a shield. He's trying to
Okay,
get a sense of what happened here. Actually gonna like kneel down to take a look.
Okay, you can roll investigation.
Yeah, come on. Here we
Anybody
go.
else who would like to look at things in the meantime? Kaz?
Can I climb a tree?
Yes, climb a tree. You may roll athletics to climb a tree.
Okay.
Dirty 20 from
That-
Asher.
Gotcha.
It's a 15 plus 5 for a flat 20.
You begin scuttling your way up a nearby tree. I'll put you over here. I'll put you up about 20 feet as well. You will see from where you are a few more important details up in the trees. Namely, as you are scaling this tree, you can see what looks to be a cut rope. It looks like someone had tied something onto this tree and then they cut it away. Rope looks like it's been here for a little while.
Similar like the victim is being hung on the tree sort of thing?
That's your thought.
Are there any bodies being hung right now currently?
From where you were standing, you don't immediately see anything.
Okay.
Rot, Darius, Fitz, Darius, shit.
I was trying to say earlier that Fitz has his sword out, but I kept getting talked over.
Yep.
So Fitz has his sword out. The Opal King's Blade.
Gotcha.
And I'm just walking.
You have your Opal King's Blade out.
Does it talk yet?
Have you tried to speak to your blade?
Not really. I mean, I was gonna say I'm not really in the habit of it, but I kind of am. I have never had a weapon that hasn't talked, so I'm kind of insane at this point.
Do you nervous mumble to cause all the time?
I think Rock fits. God damn it! Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault somehow, Connor.
Fuck you, nerd.
It's not my fault. I never did anything wrong. No, it's Fitz would probably just kind of instinctually nervous mumble.
Okay. So I will point out Fitz is now in a very interesting situation. I caught myself. Fitz is now in a very interesting situation as you have 2 sentient weapons on your person. You have Cause.
Can they talk to each other?
You haven't tried yet, but as of now, you are in the middle of this forest, kind of talking to yourself, and you will hear Cause pipe up and go, "So what exactly are we looking for here?"
Anything slightly murderous in a cursed forest?
There's quite a bit of murderous things around here. There's bones, blood, and, bear traps sitting here waiting for us.
So we're not going to step on the bear traps. That one's easily avoided. And
That's
the
great.
bones are the product of murder, not what did the murder.
There's still definitely murder around here.
There absolutely is murder around. Why do you think we're in the cursed forest? We're going to find it and kill it. Preferably.
And at this point, you will hear the Opal Kingsblade pipe up and go, "So is this going to be your idea of upholding your bargain?"
Helping people. I'm sure they could use the forest at this point if we get rid of the thing that's killing.
Oh, yeah.
It'd also help that cannibal.
There's also very much the dead bodies and all the people who've been killed by this thing. So yes, I would say so.
Fitz over looking at like plants being like, exactly, that's what I'm saying. The sort of I could cut the bodies down and make sure they get the proper respect that a corpse deserves.
Unfortunately, I think they might be a little too far gone for that.
Damn it. The families would probably like something to bury.
Bones are good.
Those are bad, actually.
Bones are good enough.
Fair enough. Does Fitz look insane? 'Cause I think
I was
it's
about to
Cause-
say, like, Granny's right next to you. She's just like,
So,
Yeah.
no, because as we've said before, Cause is heard out loud,
Yeah.
and as is the Opal Kingsblade. As is
It's
you.
a walking conversation, baby.
she's just like, it's weird hearing 3 voices coming from just one place.
I'm so used to it being 2. 3 is a bit proud, no offense.
But if we're looking for stuff to
The
bury,
2 weapons will go, none taken.
taking the objects that they lost would also be a good thing to take back to the families, in my experience.
Your fair companion does have a point. It may be some comfort.
Fairer?
Keep going.
We talked about
Stop.
before.
Are you flirting with my sword?
Granny starts flirting with a weapon.
Right, I think your sword is flirting with me.
The very first episode of Game Changer where one of them starts flirting with the machine.
I feel like I'm really in the middle of something here. Should I leave you two alone, or?
I don't think leaving me alone is a good idea, especially
No,
given
you
the
can't.
circumstances.
Can't do much on your own.
It's a joke, but you know.
Anyway,
Alright,
Fizzy.
the woods.
Check out this mushroom. It's weird. It's got spots on it. I think it's growing out of blood.
Darius? was
She's
there
not
anything-
here. Fuck.
Yeah, she's not here. Darius, is there anything
Forget
you
it
were
later.
wishing to do?
Well, I'm staring down at this bear trap.
Cool.
I'm gonna lift my foot and I'm gonna put it in the bear trap and stomp on it.
Perfect.
It's like chicken. Can you remove your leg fast enough?
Oh man, I'm sure the worst part is I'm sure someone's tried that.
I think that Kaz could.
Yeah, Kaz is pretty fast.
I think Kaz could close a bear trap and be quick enough to pull her leg out of it before it snapped on her.
This is
Don't
the
do
worst
it, but I
carnival
think you
game
could.
ever.
What kind of sick game are you playing?
You know, Kaz would be really good in Saw, the movies. There's a lot of those puzzles require some time aspect.
You can't just say that shit to me. I think you'd be really good at sawing off your own hand. I think that'd be really fun for you.
You know what? I think you'd be really good at playing a game.
You can't put me in Sop. I'm not a politician or some corrupt cop.
And also, can you come back to me? I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, you're fine.
The only person better at sawing off their own hand would be Asher.
No, he explodes it.
Done.
Yes, Tana.
So Tana would like to try to infer what size of creature we're looking for by looking at the spacing of the bite marks.
So, knowledge of nature, I think.
And now the nat 20 comes.
There we go. So humanoid sized. A lot of the bones appear to have been gnawed at, and almost obsessively gnawed at, to the point where the bone itself is cracked and the marrow has been licked out. It looks like something with sharp pointed teeth, almost like that of a mountain lion, has been gnawing away and just working at the bones so that they had anything.
You know, this being able to confirm this doesn't help with a bunch of Tana's stories being about things trying to eat her.
You probably
Just
wouldn't,
like-
no.
It's like, so she's just, for some reason, an expert on things eating the other things.
Fizzy. Granny has called out to you about some odd mushrooms that they have noted.
Yeah. I was already making my way over. Carefully. Avoiding. Just making sure to avoid, traps.
Mm-hmm.
So I am zooming in so I don't accidentally get bear trapped. Sort of leans forward and close to the ground. Hi. Can you talk?
Yes.
Do you know what's here?
Yes.
Can you describe whatever it is to me?
The mushroom continues to gasp at you. Like a man suffocating.
Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, I think maybe also choking out the life from these mushrooms. She'll say that to Fitz and Granny, because those are the two people by her.
Unfortunately, that makes sense with how the leaves are. Guess the only way to help the mushrooms as well is to get rid of whatever's causing this.
But whatever it is, it's not just a person. Whatever it is, I think is taking the life from the forest completely. Why? There's no animals, right?
No big animal.
Plenty of flies.
Which
Plenty
is
of
around dead
mosquitoes.
bodies.
And stagnant water.
Plenty of, actually, the biggest biggest animal you would have seen would probably be about maybe a ranabora. Even then, not a particularly large one. Maybe only about yay big. You know, their upper half about being like this, the rest tail.
Shoot. This is something I should have asked when they were researching the forest. Do people know what was in the forest before all of this?
Good question. I would say roll knowledge nature, because like I don't think that would have been noted, but it also wouldn't
20.
take. What was that?
Natural 20.
Oh, perfect. So it wasn't noted in the documentation, but I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to figure it out. Certain things live in certain environments. This is very marshy land. Whole lot of ranabora, maybe some particularly large lizards, phosphids, maybe the occasional bear or particularly large lumbering creature, but a lot of it would have been smaller life. You definitely would have seen the occasional maned wolf kind of meandering through here, but that would be about it. And like in theory, like location-wise, it would have been just another little piece of ecology, a marsh in a location. Can't see any reason why it wouldn't be. At least, no logical reason.
Vampires. Is it possible there are vampires that don't suck blood only?
Are you talking?
Yeah.
Fit? Not you. I was looking at. Well, Fitz might know.
I was gonna say, can I roll to summon that knowledge into my brain?
You don't need to roll to summon it. It's going to be in your keen mind because that's something the book told us when I looked up vampires recently.
Yeah,
did.
I couldn't remember if it had come up before. But
The brain
yes,
blast.
Brain blast.
There are definitely different types of vampires that exist. There's your typical blood-sucking vampire. They drink blood. There are various species or clans of vampires, as they call themselves, that will eat flesh, and they will basically eat bodies raw, and as much of it as possible. Then there are heat vampires that will literally sap away people's body heat. Much more common in cold places, simply because it's easy to hide. Someone dying of frostbite isn't shocking in, the frozen fucking north. And then there are the other two that are a little trickier. There are emotional vampires and mental vampires. Emotional vampires will effectively sap away people's ability to feel. And in a lot of situations, it will eventually result in suicide, sadly, as they will become so dead to the world that they won't feel a reason to exist. Mental vampires quite literally take away the energy the brain needs to work, and eventually the wheel stops, and they die. Those are the big five you can think of.
Fitz will relay all of this because I don't have key mind and I forgot the first two that you said already.
Blood and meat.
Blood and meat. Got it.
Blood, meat, emotion, mental,
And heat.
life.
Heat.
yeah,
Heat.
Okay.
this.
Weird thought.
Mhm.
Is it possible that a vampire that does the last one,
Mental.
the mental one, can do it to a forest too? Because that seems to be what's happening.
I mean, apparently, well, what about emotion? Because clearly mushrooms and trees feel things. If you want you talk to them.
Oh, but see, when I talked to him, it wasn't like losing feeling or emotion or like, I don't want to live anymore or whatever. I don't know what that would say. It was more something is taking away my life and I'm struggling to keep going it's
Or get
my
something
it was
literally
like
sucking the life away.
yes. Something was shutting it down physically as opposed to like emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Asher,
Mm-hmm.
you're looking over the shield that you found over here.
Yes, I am.
Looking at the shield, it looks to be pretty much standard issue North Acasian gear.
Okay.
Kind of armor you'd give a guardsman. Mild adjustments have been made to the strapping, so it's definitely not something a newbie had, probably something a veteran had. But the most important thing and the most interesting thing you'll see is that on the side of it, like the very side edge, it looks like it's been dented inward. Like someone took multiple blows and struck something using the shield as a makeshift mallet. And judging by the blood spatter on it, it looks like it may have been a head that was just taken with the shield and smashed.
There is... It's hard for Asher to tell with the night vision the way it is, but it looks a bit like blood. Is there like a body in all this foliage that's here, or...
Moving the brush around, looking through, you don't see any body here, and the blood itself is well dry at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
No body here, but there definitely was somebody here.
Okay. All right. Asher notes the details of the shield. And he's gonna start. Okay.
I was gonna say, as you begin turning about to leave from this area, you feel a snap below you. And you look down, you see there's an arrow sticking up out of the ground.
Okay.
And you look up a little bit more, and you see that all around this area, it's just a dozen fucking arrows. Almost like someone was taking fire at something and just kept trying to take it down.
All right. Well, this thing is tough. Asher is going to, as he's kind of looking and taking this all in, he is going to load up. We're going to load up details with some of the silver buckshot that he has. Looking at all this just in case. I'm going to have a round of that ready.
Very well.
Cool. With that noted, Asher is noticing something up in this general area, so he is going to start slowly moving and keeping an eye on the ground where he's stepping and kind of keeping an eye up, because I do in fact believe this is at least where this thing was ambushed at least once.
Okay. Darius, is there anything you were doing? Because I wanted to get back to you because you had to leave for a second. So, what else are you doing?
Oh, I want to investigate this bear trap. Is it new? Is it old? Is the blood still on it? Has it been used recently? Does it look like it's been set off? What's going on with this trap?
Looking at the bear trap itself, you can see that the bear trap is well used, and old. You'd estimate it to be been stuck out in the elements for a fair amount of time. You're not sure how long, especially given the general environment, but it's definitely been out here for a while, and it has been fired off a few times. You can see spots where something stepped into it, and something activated the trap, and it looks like it just got yanked off and reset. And here it lies.
Can you reset a bear trap? Can you like, because it's like a jaw, right? Can you just reach under the jaw and like hit the pressure plate and have it snap closed? It won't get your hand.
Yeah. Well, the way that, to be totally honest, most folks will do it. They'll grab a stick and they'll poke it to activate it so that it doesn't break your fucking hand.
Yeah.
Stick
I rolled that wisdom check to see if I was telling anyone I was gonna set this off. I was closest to Deus, right? Or he was.
Yeah, he's
I don't-
closer.
It was. Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's the closest. I assume it's someone.
Yeah, Asher was closest at the moment of time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as Asher's walking away, Deus is gonna pick up the stick and go, I'm setting this off. Waiting for
Actually,
Jace
I'm
to
gonna
finish
assume Asher
chewing.
was back around here when that happened.
Yep.
Asher's actually gonna drop to a knee and start looking around when
Okay.
that happens.
You will hear an immediate, and everybody else will also hear this. And you guys who weren't immediately nearby will look over, and you'll see that Darius has basically just stuck a stick into a bear trap. And the bear trap went off. You didn't get hurt, so there you go. Asher, perception check.
Can I also do one since I was snapping it?
Sure. You can also do a perception check.
Sick.
13.
13.
Let's see if I do
That
better
is
than
not
that.
perceptive.
What is
19.
That's actually pretty good. 19 from Darius. Let me do a quick roll for this fellow.
Could I activate Lesser Blood Sight?
Sure.
Can I, while this is happening, because I'm getting nervous about how far away Asher's moving, because we're still at the bottom of the map, can I encourage Fitz and Fizzy to like follow me a little bit so we stick closer together?
I'll even say you probably won't even have to encourage Fitz, because I feel like he's still having a very mumbly conversation and is just following you.
She's basically like, they're getting a bit away from us. Let's get over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow. I'll also follow.
It's gonna. Okay. About
With
there.
those perception checks, you will not immediately note anything.
See.
Kaz,
Yeah.
anything you want to do up there in that tree?
Well, I mean, I spotted the old row.
Mm-hmm.
Is it on like on a strong branch, or I'm assuming how strong is this tree considering this forest is kind of cursed?
It's definitely a big branch, but strong doesn't feel like the correct term. You don't know. There's an odd sponginess to the tree.
I don't like spongy for a tree. I mean, the best I can do is just be up here because I don't want whatever is following us or whatever's in the forest is up in the trees right now. Right. So, I'm probably gonna like phantom grapple to the next closest tree, which is probably this one.
Okay.
Down here.
Hey, your phantom grapple will absolutely let you do that, so go right ahead.
Okay. I go phantom grapple there.
Fizzy Fitz and Granny will hear a as Kaz just flies across from one tree to another. And also with the general thickness of the trees, you very well could just go from tree to tree to tree to tree to tree, Kaz. So like keep that in mind.
That's the point.
Gotcha. So when you want to move, just stay near a tree.
Okay.
So Fizzy, Granny, and Fitz. Anything in particular you guys want to keep looking at, or do you just want to wish to keep moving?
I'm kind of like scanning the tree line, like just looking for any movement, like not anything specific, but like something that isn't us moving in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Granny's gonna, seeing you you're looking like kind of level, right? Like through the trees.
Mhm.
Granny's gonna see you do that, and she's going to be looking up, making sure there's nothing like crouching in the tree limbs or something.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perception checks, please.
But yeah, for
Do
the
I
Busy as well,
roll-
if you wish.
Do I roll the die that I'm training, or do I pick a better one?
Buddy,
pick a
that's
better
up to you,
one.
dude.
Train it
Hey,
on
Jill,
less
you?
important
Jill,
rolls.
the one you trained earlier rolled well.
It did. The one I trained, the one it rolled pretty
Wait,
well.
take a hit off your and then bless
Oh
it.
god, I'm being punished for my previous net 20s. I got a 2 on the die.
I am actively deciding to search up. Can I
Sorry.
do guidance on myself?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, they've been blessed. Let's see if that worked.
This is perception or investigation? What is this?
Please do better
Perception.
than me.
Perception. Blessing my die with my vape worked. That's a natural 20
Oh
on
my
the
God.
die that's been very mean to me.
Plus a 5 for 25.
25.
Damn.
Nice.
Mine's not a nat 20, but it's like it was 15 plus 3 plus 8.
So a
20.
26.
26.
26. Sorry, Joe.
Cool.
Have you done this?
No, don't worry. I have different things to share for Jill.
Ooh.
So, Fizzy. As you guys are sloshing your way through the pond, you will get this feeling on the back of your neck as the hairs begin to raise up. And you, out of instinct, immediately begin looking around very carefully. And at first you don't see it. And then you do. And you see that on the eastern edge, hunched near trees, hidden in bushes, staring out at you all, are 5 crazed shapes. Eyes wide with madness. Ragged, broken nails and claws sinking into the dirt. Ragged, torn clothes on their body. They look more like corpses than they do like people. You can see that they are all standing there from behind tree cover, looking at all of you with a terrible hunger in their eyes. But Fitz, your eyes have already picked up on this and then have been drawn somewhere else. As you see in another tree further out, watching all of this and smiling with an awful misshapen grin, there is a form with long arms and long legs sitting on a tree branch looking down at you all and just smiling like it's just watching what's going on. I will show specifically only
Jill
Jill.
doesn't need shown considering
I have it on my iPad. I don't need to see him.
I put
The
him in the
rest of us do,
handout.
though.
I put him in the handouts. He just looks like that.
I want to see
Where's the handouts?
check
It's the open book. Look for the question marks.
Open book.
It's under character images,
Handout,
question marks.
Now we gotta wait for it to load. Jill's already.
Yep.
Oh, it's this thing.
You need to make sure to give it to the watcher, by the way.
Oh, I'm intentionally not giving it to the watcher just yet.
Oh.
Yes, Cody.
With Anna activating her lesser blood sight, does she pick up on the
What does Blood Sight work on?
Any creature,
Okay. Does it work on
even undead and constructs.
even undead? Okay, cool. Yep. You will become aware of them as well through your Blood Sight.
Yeah, it's just can't see behind materials 3 inches thick or less. But I figured this would be particularly useful here with the lack of life. And since she established the size of creatures, she has anything larger than size small is immediate ping.
Okay. Fitz. What are you doing, buddy?
How close is the tree that this thing is into the tree that Kaz is in?
It's a fair distance away. For your reference, it is not currently on the map.
Okay. Fitz is gonna kind of keep his eyes on it and reach out to whoever's closest, which I assume is Granny, because we were both scanning the forest.
I think so, yeah.
Fitz is gonna reach over, grab like the shirt, like the sleeve of Granny's shirt, and pull her in front of him and angle her so she's also looking at it.
Do I
Okay.
see? Is it close enough for me to
Yeah.
see it with my? Okay.
With your 6 feet of dark vision.
I will show it to you because it is backlit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's very
Hey,
clearly
Connor,
I would
backlit.
love to see this creature.
Hey, Connor.
Yeah?
That's not a normal amount of wet for a person.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember
this
that thing I was
conversation?
drawing that scarred me, and I have to live with it on my iPad now?
Okay, it's in your handouts.
Oh god.
I'm gonna scream.
I
Ew.
want this thing. I want it dead.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is that?
Fitz will point it out and then to Granny and then over the comm and be like, "There's something in a tree quite far from here, but it's horrifying."
What?
Can I see it?
I will. As of now, you've all had this brought to your attention. You all start bringing your eyes up and scanning, and the 5 figures you are now aware of them, and they are aware of you,
Mhm.
and they appear
I will
to
also-
be preparing to rush you, but you all become aware of the voyeur you have hiding in the trees, watching all of you. And he looks like this.
He's so ugly.
It's like
He's friend-shaped.
it's fucking Kirby with arms and legs.
There's Kirby.
Why does it have goat eyes?
Why not?
Why not? That's just more cursed.
For some reason, this
Scary.
would very much look like from Owl House, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it does. It does remind me. No, it reminds me of the
Dana's
big
character?
talisman. Yeah. No, well that too, but the big talisman.
Out of
Yeah.
character, I imagine Tony going, "That the limb fish look like that."
So, as the 5 figures begin to prepare to rush you, and your voyeur watches on, we will stop there and we will carry on 2 weeks from now.
Oh no.
As I am taking a vacation with my girlfriend, which means we're taking a break.
Hey, I want to fight.
Sorry,
We're gonna have to
Bob.
wait 2 weeks to fight these things.
I
Gonna
want to fight
piss.
now. I want to fight.
Side note, Tana's taking the dodge action before anything starts.
Oh, we'll
Yes,
handle that
sure.
when the fight starts.
I got a sword now. I want to fight.
Thank you all so very much for being here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much to my players. I hope you guys had fun. If you did, please pass the word around and tell your friends. We stream regularly every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Next week is, well, it's going to be a little sparse for streaming. Not much we can do about that. Sorry, the week after the next. Because unfortunately a lot of vacation days are showing up then, and I'm not going to be around. With that said, we still have a Discord. You can reach out to us there. We have a Twitter at Dicefunctional_. And really, if you have any game recommendations for us, tell us in the Discord. We'd love hearing about that kind of stuff. But with all that said, we'll be picking this up in 2 weeks from now. Say bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye,
stream.
stream.